The story of Canada is written not just in its cities and people, but in landscapes so vast and wild they seem pulled from another world. From coast to coast, this country holds secrets of ice, stone, and water that defy imagination. Here, mountains rise like cathedrals into skies painted with northern lights. Lakes shimmer with impossible blues, fed by glaciers older than civilization itself. Waterfalls roar with ancient power, carving valleys where forests whisper tales carried on the wind. In these lands, every season rewrites the story. Winters, blanket peaks in snow, turning rivers to mirrors of ice. Summers ignite meadows in color, while autumn cloaks hillsides in fire, and spring unlocks tides that breathe life back into the coastlines. But Canada's wonders are more than nature. They are living theaters of history and culture. Indigenous stories echo in canyons, French and English roots shape stone cities, and vibrant festivals light up streets beneath towering skylines. This is a country where the wild still rules, where beauty overwhelms the senses, and where every horizon promises a new discovery. These are the wonders of Canada. Untamed, unforgettable, and breathtaking beyond belief. Banff National Park. Banff National Park isn't just a Canadian treasure. It's a world icon of wilderness and raw beauty. Nestled in Alberta's Rocky Mountains, Banff was founded in 1885, making it Canada's first national park and one of the most visited in the country. Every year, over 4 million travelers flock here, drawn by its turquoise lakes, towering peaks, and alpine meadows that look like they've been painted by the heavens themselves. Lake Louise, with its surreal glacier-fed waters, is perhaps Banff's most famous jewel, but Moraine Lake and Peyto Lake shine just as brightly, each offering postcard-perfect reflections of snow-draped summits. The park covers an astonishing 2,564 square miles, where wildlife roams freely: grizzly bears, elk, mountain goats, and even elusive cougars. In winter, Banff transforms into a snowy paradise, with world-class skiing in Sunshine Village and Lake Louise Ski Resort. Summer brings endless hikes, like the Plain of Six Glaciers Trail, where ice walls rise above like ancient fortresses. What makes Banff extraordinary isn't just its landscapes. It's the way nature dominates every sense. The air smells of pine, the rivers roar with glacier melt, and the mountains glow pink during sunrise in a phenomenon called alpine glow. Banff isn't just a destination, it's a place where the earth feels alive. Niagara Falls. Few sights on Earth can match the raw, thundering power of Niagara Falls. Straddling the border between Ontario and New York, these falls aren't just Canada's most famous wonder. They're a natural cathedral of water and light. Formed over 12,000 years ago during the last ice age, Niagara's three cascades, Horseshoe Falls, American Falls, and Bridal Veil Falls, send 85,000 cubic feet of water, plunging every single second. Horseshoe Falls alone drops water 167 feet into the Niagara River below, creating a deafening roar. And a mist so thick it can soak you from hundreds of feet away. It's no wonder that over 13 million visitors each year stand in awe of its might. Beyond its beauty, Niagara has a history of daring stunts and tragedy. From tightrope walkers like Charles Blondin in the 1800s to barrel-riding thrill-seekers who risked their lives, the falls have been a stage for both bravery and madness. Today, you can experience the thunder up close aboard the Hornblower cruise, or stand on the journey behind the falls platform, where you'll feel the earth shake beneath your feet. At night, the falls transform into a rainbow spectacle, lit by powerful spotlights, while fireworks crackle above. Niagara isn't just a waterfall, it's nature unleashed, a force that humbles everything in its path. Vancouver. Vancouver is a city where glass towers rise against a backdrop of snow-capped mountains and ocean waves. Nestled between the Pacific and the coast mountains, it's a place where urban life blends seamlessly with wild landscapes. Known as one of the most livable cities in the world, Vancouver attracts over 11 million visitors annually, lured by its cosmopolitan culture and breathtaking scenery. Stanley Park, larger than New York's Central Park, offers 1,000 acres of towering cedar forests and a seawall that stretches for 22 kilometers. Granville Island bursts with artisan markets and food stalls, while Gastown keeps history alive with its famous steam clock. Winters bring skiers to Grouse Mountain, just 15 minutes from downtown. While summers fill beaches like Kitsilano and English Bay with sunseekers. Vancouver's diversity is its heartbeat. Over half its population speaks a first language other than English, infusing the city with a culinary richness that spans sushi bars, Indian curries, and Cantonese dim sum. Every turn offers contrasts. Luxury yachts in Cole Harbour against misty mountain peaks, bustling markets framed by ocean breezes, and a skyline glowing with Pacific sunsets. Abraham Lake. Abraham Lake in Alberta looks like a canvas of frozen magic when winter locks its turquoise waters under ice. What sets it apart are the surreal methane bubbles trapped below the surface, creating white orbs suspended in glass-like layers. This phenomenon, caused by decaying plants releasing gas, has made Abraham Lake a photography icon, drawing adventurers from around the world. Spanning 20 miles along the foothills of the Rockies, it was created in 1972 by the Bighorn Dam, making it a man-made reservoir with a wild, untouched feel. In summer, the lake glows with deep blue tones. Fed by glacial runoff, while in winter, it transforms into an alien landscape where winds can whip across the surface at 50 miles per hour. Unlike Banff's famous lakes, Abraham remains less crowded, giving it a mysterious, almost secret quality. Ice explorers often strap on crampons to wander across its glassy surface, staring down into frozen depths where bubbles look like galaxies suspended in time. Surrounded by rugged mountains, the lake is a stage where geology, weather, and chemistry combine to create one of Canada's most surreal natural wonders, Okanagan Valley. Okanagan Valley in British Columbia is Canada's wine country, a sun-drenched paradise of vineyards, lakes, and orchards. Stretching 124 miles, the valley boasts over 180 wineries, producing award-winning reds and crisp whites, thanks to its unique desert-like climate. Kelowna, the region's heart, mixes lakefront beaches with vibrant food culture, while Penticton and Naramata offer boutique vineyards nestled among rolling hills. The Okanagan Lake, stretching 84 miles long, dominates the valley with sandy beaches and sailboats drifting under endless sunshine. This area gets over 2,000 hours of sun annually. In summer, fruit stands overflow with cherries, peaches, and apricots, creating a feast of flavors that reflect the valley's fertile soils. Autumn paints the vineyards gold and crimson, attracting wine lovers for harvest festivals. But the Okanagan isn't only about wine, it's also about adventure. Skiers flock to Big White and Silver Star resorts in winter, while hikers and cyclists explore trails that weave through forests and cliffside overlooks. The region's microclimate makes it unlike anywhere else in Canada. Where semi-arid desert meets alpine ridges, with mountains framing every view and vines cascading down hillsides, Okanagan Valley embodies a rich blend of nature, flavor, and culture. Prince Edward Island. Prince Edward Island, Canada's smallest province, is a storybook come to life with rolling green fields. Red sandstone cliffs and villages framed by white lighthouses. Covering just 2,195 square miles, it's nicknamed the Garden of the Gulf. For its fertile farmlands and pastoral beauty. Summers blanket the island in golden wheat and blooming lupins, while autumn brings fiery foliage across countryside roads. PEI is also famous for its coastline, with 435 miles of sandy beaches where crimson cliffs meet turquoise waves. Cavendish, immortalized by Lucy Maud, Montgomery's Anne of Green Gables, draws literary pilgrims to its farmhouses and storybook settings. The island is also a seafood haven. Lobsters, oysters, and mussels dominate menus, feeding both locals and millions of annual visitors. Agriculture thrives here too, producing nearly 1/3 of Canada's potatoes, which are shipped worldwide. PEI's Confederation Bridge, an engineering marvel stretching 8 miles across the Northumberland Strait, links the island to New Brunswick, standing as both a lifeline and a symbol of connection. Every lighthouse, fishing harbor, and coastal road tells a story, weaving together history, culture, and natural beauty. Gros National Park. Gros National Park in Newfoundland is a geological wonder that feels like stepping into another planet. Spanning 697 square miles, it showcases ancient landscapes sculpted over 500 million years. Towering fjords slice through cliffs that rise nearly 2,000 feet, while glacial valleys cradle shimmering lakes. The tablelands are the park's crown jewel, a barren expanse of ochre rock where Earth's mantle has been thrust to the surface. Creating a landscape so unusual it earned UNESCO World Heritage status. Gros Morne is a natural laboratory where tectonic history is written in stone. Moose wander through dense forests, while waterfalls plunge into ravines with thunderous force. Western Brook Pond, once a fjord carved by glaciers, is now a freshwater lake surrounded by sheer cliffs, accessible only by boat. In summer, wildflowers bloom across alpine meadows, while autumn sets the hills ablaze in fiery reds and golds. The sheer scale of the scenery is humbling, with trails like Gros Morne Mountain challenging hikers to climb 2,644 feet for sweeping views across a seemingly endless wilderness. The park captures the raw power of geological forces and the artistry of nature's slow hand. Montreal. Montreal is a city where Old World Europe meets modern North America. Founded in 1642, it has grown into Canada's cultural capital. Home to 1.7 million people and a mosaic of languages, flavors, and traditions. The cobblestone streets of Old Montreal echo with history, where 18th century stone buildings house cafes, galleries, and boutique shops. The majestic Notre Dame Basilica dazzles visitors with its soaring Gothic Revival architecture and vibrant stained glass. Above the city, Mount Royal Park rises with forested trails and panoramic overlooks designed by Frederick Law Olmsted, the same mind behind New York's Central Park. Montreal pulses with festivals, over 100 annually, including the world-renowned jazz festival that draws nearly 2 million attendees. Food here is a cultural journey. Steaming poutine, wood-fired bagels, and French pastries blend with global cuisines. Brought by immigrant communities, the underground city stretches 20 miles below, linking shopping centers, hotels, and metro stations, making winter navigation easier in Quebec's icy climate. Street art splashes across neighborhoods like Plateau Mont Royal, where colorful murals transform walls into canvases. Markets like Jean Talon brim with produce and cheeses, filling the air with aromas of fresh bread and spices. Montreal thrives on contrast, where centuries-old heritage coexists with avant-garde creativity. Quebec City. Quebec City feels like a living museum, the only fortified city north of Mexico with stone walls still standing. Founded in 1608 by Samuel de Champlain, it is one of the oldest European settlements in North America. The upper town rises dramatically above the St. Lawrence River, crowned by the Chateau Frontenac, a grand hotel often called the most photographed in the world. Narrow cobblestone streets twist through old Quebec, where horse-drawn carriages echo off limestone facades and centuries-old churches. The Plains of Abraham carry echoes of history, where French and British forces clashed in 1759, reshaping the continent. In winter, Quebec City becomes a snow-draped wonderland, hosting the Carnaval de Québec, one of the world's largest winter festivals, complete with ice palaces and parades. Summer fills the squares with musicians, street performers, and bustling outdoor terraces. The city's French character is unmistakable. More than 95% of residents speak French, giving the streets a distinctly European charm. The St. Lawrence River adds drama, with ferries gliding past and the Montmorency Falls plunging 272 feet nearby, nearly 100 feet taller than Niagara. Quebec City's past and present intertwine seamlessly across its ramparts, plazas, and timeless stone streets. Jasper National Park. Jasper National Park is the wild heart of the Canadian Rockies, sprawling across 4,200 square miles of rugged peaks, ice fields, and pristine wilderness. It's the largest national park in the Rockies and a UNESCO World Heritage Site, where glaciers, canyons, and hot springs carve an untamed landscape. The Columbia Icefield dominates the southern edge, with the Athabasca Glacier offering visitors a rare chance to walk upon ancient ice. Moline Lake, stretching 14 miles, is famed for Spirit Island, a tiny patch of trees surrounded by turquoise water and towering mountains, a scene so iconic it once graced Canadian currency. Wildlife thrives here. Grizzly bears, elk, caribou, and bighorn sheep roam freely, while bald eagles circle above alpine valleys. Nightfall brings another wonder. Jasper is the world's second-largest dark sky preserve, where the Milky Way blazes vividly across unpolluted skies. Hiking trails like Sulphur Skyline climb to ridges with sweeping views, while Athabasca Falls hurls water into roaring chasms. The park's rail line, part of the historic Canadian National Railway, winds through mountain corridors, carrying travelers into vistas few places on Earth can rival. Jasper is nature's grand stage, where wilderness stretches unbroken to every horizon. Whistler. Whistler in British Columbia is a mountain playground where adventure thrives year-round. Just 75 miles north of Vancouver, this alpine village exploded onto the world stage during the 2010 Winter Olympics. But its story began decades earlier as a ski haven. Whistler Blackcomb, the largest ski resort in North America, boasts over 8,000 acres of terrain. "37 lifts, and runs that drop nearly a mile in vertical. In winter, Powder draws skiers and snowboarders from around the globe, while summer transforms the slopes into a mountain biking paradise with world-class trails. The Peak-to-Peak Gondola links Whistler and Blackcomb Mountains in a record-breaking span of nearly 2 miles, floating riders above valleys 1,400 feet deep. The pedestrian-only Whistler village buzzes with energy. Cafes, après-ski bars, and shops spilling into cobbled plazas surrounded by alpine peaks. Lakes dot the landscape, from emerald-hued Green Lake to sun-warmed Lost Lake, offering swimming and kayaking. Festivals fill the calendar, from film and food to mountain sports. The surrounding wilderness teems with bears, eagles, and forests that glow golden in autumn. Whistler embodies high adrenaline adventure framed by stunning mountain vistas. St. John's, Newfoundland, is North America's oldest city, founded in the 1500s, and it wears its history with colorful pride. Jelly bean row houses line steep streets, their facades painted in bright reds, blues, and yellows. A tradition said to help sailors spot home through fog. Signal Hill towers above the harbor, where in 1901, Guglielmo Marconi received the first transatlantic wireless signal, marking a milestone in communication history. The harbor itself is a natural fortress, a narrow channel opening into a deep basin that has sheltered fishing fleets for centuries. St. John's is a cultural hub, with pubs spilling live music. Echoing Newfoundland's Irish and English roots. The city's landscape is dramatic, with the Atlantic crashing against cliffs at Cape Spear, the easternmost point in North America. Where lighthouses stand as sentinels against relentless waves. Fog often drifts in thick and fast, giving the city an otherworldly aura. While icebergs occasionally float past in spring, breaking apart in turquoise and white shards. The people here are known for their humor, hospitality, and storytelling, traits shaped by centuries of life on the edge of the ocean. Kelowna. Kelowna, set in the heart of British Columbia's Okanagan Valley, is a city framed by vineyards, orchards, and a shimmering 84-mile-long lake. With over 150,000 residents, it balances small-town charm with vibrant growth. The waterfront sparkles with beaches like Giro and Hot Sands. Where sailboats and paddleboards drift under endless blue skies. Downtown bustles with farm-to-table restaurants, boutique shops, and a thriving art scene, while the cultural district preserves historic brick buildings repurposed into galleries and theaters. Kelowna is also wine country central, with over 40 wineries within a short drive, producing vintages that rival global labels. Summer heat often pushes past 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Making the surrounding hills bloom with orchards heavy with peaches, cherries, and apples. Autumn harvests spill into farmers' markets. While winter sends locals to Big White Ski Resort for powder-filled slopes. Okanagan Lake itself carries legends of Ogopogo, a mythical sea serpent said to dwell in its depths. Drawing curious travelers, trails wind through Knox Mountain Park, offering panoramic views across vineyards, shimmering waters, and the city below. Kelowna thrives where natural beauty, agriculture, and modern living meet in a dynamic setting. Parliament Hill. Parliament Hill in Ottawa is the symbolic heart of Canada. Where history, politics, and architecture converge on a bluff overlooking the Ottawa River. The Gothic Revival buildings, begun in the mid-1800s, rise like stone cathedrals of democracy, their spires and gargoyles etched with intricate detail. At the center, the Peace Tower climbs 302 feet into the sky, its clock face a sentinel above the Capitol. The centennial flame flickers at the base, burning since 1967 as a symbol of unity. Inside the Library of Parliament, domed ceilings and carved wood glow under golden light, a masterpiece spared from the Great Fire of 1916. On the lawns outside, the changing of the guard brings scarlet uniforms and brass bands in a pageantry rooted in tradition. Summer evenings transform the hill into a canvas as the Northern Lights Sound and Light Show projects Canada's story across stone walls, weaving history, art, and music together under open skies. Winter cloaks the Gothic towers in snow, their silhouettes glowing through frosted air, while protests, celebrations, and national ceremonies continue to unfold on these grounds. Parliament Hill is more than government. It is the nation's stage, where past and present stand together in stone and flame. Toronto. Toronto, Canada's largest city with nearly 3 million residents, rises as a gleaming metropolis on the shore of Lake Ontario. Its skyline is dominated by the CN Tower, once the tallest freestanding structure on Earth at 1,815 feet. Beneath those glass towers, the city pulses with diversity. Over 180 nationalities call Toronto home, making it one of the most multicultural cities in the world. Kensington Market bursts with global flavors, while Chinatown, Little Italy, and Greektown showcase Toronto's cultural mosaic. The Distillery District preserves Victorian-era architecture, transformed into galleries, cafes, and theaters. Sports define part of the city's spirit. Maple Leafs hockey, Blue Jays baseball, and Raptors basketball pack stadiums with roaring fans. The waterfront stretches with parks and ferries leading to the Toronto Islands, a calm oasis where the city skyline glitters across the water. Museums like the Royal Ontario and the Art Gallery of Ontario House, treasures from Indigenous artifacts to European masters. Each summer, the Toronto International Film Festival draws Hollywood's spotlight, flooding red carpets with stars. Streets hum with streetcars and music festivals, while winter layers the city in snow. Its skyscrapers glowing like icy lanterns against the night sky. Mont Tremblant. Mont Tremblant, tucked in Quebec's Laurentian Mountains, is a four-season alpine retreat that blends natural beauty with European charm. Its ski resort, one of the best in eastern North America, sprawls across 755 acres with 102 trails weaving through snow-draped peaks. In winter, the village transforms into a postcard of cobblestone streets and colorful chalet-style buildings, alive with skiers and après-ski revelers. Summer reveals another side, lush green mountains crisscrossed by hiking and biking trails, leading to lakes perfect for kayaking and fishing. The gondola ride to the summit offers sweeping views across rolling forested hills that blaze crimson and gold during autumn. Mont Tremblant National Park, covering 583 square miles, surrounds the resort with pristine wilderness, dotted with rivers, waterfalls, and wildlife like moose and black bears. The pedestrian village feels like a slice of the French Alps, with cafes serving croissants and terraces alive with chatter. Festivals fill the calendar, from blues music to sports competitions, creating energy year-round. Nearby, Lac Tremblant sparkles under the summer sun, while forests echo with birdsong and the rush of rivers. Mont Tremblant fuses outdoor adventure with the warmth of Quebecois hospitality, wrapped in a dramatic mountain setting. Ottawa. Ottawa, Canada's capital, is a city where politics, culture, and history converge along the banks of the Ottawa River. Parliament Hill rises as its centerpiece. Crowned by the Gothic Revival Peace Tower that soars 302 feet above the skyline. Changing of the guard ceremonies and light shows animate the lawns, while the Rideau Canal winds through the city. Freezing each winter into the world's largest skating rink at nearly 5 miles long. Ottawa's cultural wealth unfolds in national institutions. The Canadian Museum of History, the National Gallery, and the War Museum preserve stories stretching across centuries. Byward Market, one of Canada's oldest public markets, bursts with vendors selling fresh produce, artisan crafts, and Ottawa's famous beaver tails pastries. The city's population of over 1 million reflects a mix of English and French heritage. Woven together in its festivals, bilingual signs, and culinary scene. In spring, over 1 million tulips bloom during the Canadian Tulip Festival. Painting parks in vibrant color. The Ottawa River adds drama, its rapids drawing kayakers and adventurers just minutes from downtown. Winter blankets government buildings in frost, while summer fills patios with music and laughter, making Ottawa dynamic in every season. Halifax. Halifax, perched on Nova Scotia's Atlantic coast, is a port city shaped by the sea. Its natural harbour, one of the world's largest, has been a strategic naval hub for centuries, guarded by the star-shaped citadel fortress built in the 1700s. Today, the waterfront boardwalk stretches for nearly 2 miles, buzzing with seafood shacks, breweries, and historic tall ships moored in the marina. The city thrives with 440,000 residents. Many tied to maritime traditions that echo through pubs filled with live fiddle music. Halifax played a vital role in world history. From sheltering Titanic survivors in 1912 to sending convoys during World War II. Just outside the city, Peggy's Cove draws millions with its granite cliffs and iconic red and white lighthouse. Universities like Dalhousie and St. Mary's infuse the city with youthful energy, while the public gardens bloom with Victorian elegance. Halifax blends natural beauty with salty character. The ocean is never far away, waves crashing against rugged shores as gulls wheel overhead. Each season reshapes the city. From lobster feasts in summer to snowy streets lit with maritime charm in winter. Charlevoix. Charlevoix in Quebec is a region sculpted by both celestial and earthly forces. Nearly 400 million years ago, a massive meteor struck here, carving a crater 34 miles wide, shaping the dramatic valleys and mountains seen today. Nestled along the St. Lawrence River, Charlevoix is framed by cliffs, rolling farmlands, and villages steeped in French heritage. Bay Saint-Paul, known for inspiring Canada's famed Cirque du Soleil, is alive with art galleries and festivals, while La Malle Bay carries echoes of 18th century river trading posts. The landscape unfolds in bold contrasts. Whales breaching in the river's deep channels, alpine meadows spread across the Laurentians, and golden fields stretching to the horizon. Charlevoix is also a playground for food lovers. Cheese, cider, and artisanal bread thrive in fertile farmlands, earning the region a spot in UNESCO's World Biosphere Reserves. Mont Tremblant and Le Massif offer skiing with sweeping river views where slopes plunge dramatically toward the water. Autumn transforms the region into a canvas of crimson and gold, while the mighty St. Lawrence reflects shifting skies like a mirror. Charlevoix is where nature, history, and creativity intertwine in vivid, unforgettable landscapes. Tofino. Tofino, on Vancouver Island's rugged west coast, is a frontier where Pacific waves crash endlessly against wild beaches. Known as Canada's surfing capital, it draws wave riders from around the globe to beaches like Chestermere and Cox Bay. The town itself is small, just over 2,000 residents, but its spirit is immense. Shaped by ocean storms, cedar forests, and indigenous heritage. Pacific Rim National Park surrounds Tofino with 197 square miles of rainforests, rocky coves, and tidal pools, teeming with sea stars and anemones. Whale watching is a seasonal spectacle, as 20,000 grey whales migrate past each spring, joined by orcas and humpbacks. Storm watching has become its own attraction, with visitors crowding beachfront lodges to witness towering winter waves pounding the shore. Hot Springs Cove, reached by boat or float plane, offers thermal pools hidden in a remote rainforest, steaming beside the Pacific. Tofino blends raw nature with laid-back charm, where surfers, fishermen, and artists coexist in a town that feels both remote and alive. Every sunrise and sunset here seems to paint the edge of the world in color. Revelstoke. Revelstoke, tucked in British Columbia's Selkirk Mountains, is a mecca for adrenaline seekers and mountain lovers. Its history began as a railway town in the 1880s. But today, it thrives as an outdoor playground. Revelstoke Mountain Resort boasts North America's longest vertical descent at 5,620 feet, thrilling skiers with powder that can reach over 30 feet annually. Summer shifts the focus to hiking and mountain biking trails that carve through alpine meadows and ridgelines. The Columbia River flows past the city, its broad waters reflecting towering peaks capped with snow. Nearby Mount Revelstoke National Park showcases vast fields of wildflowers that bloom in rainbow hues each July and August. Carpeting slopes beneath ancient cedars and hemlocks. The giant cedars boardwalk leads through trees more than 500 years old, their trunks towering like natural cathedrals. Revelstoke's downtown retains small-town charm with brick heritage buildings, cafes, and craft breweries humming with life. The town is also known for heli-skiing, where helicopters whisk adventurers into untouched backcountry powder fields. From glacier-carved valleys to summits glowing with alpine glow, Revelstoke embodies the spirit of Canada's mountain frontier. Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia, a maritime province jutting into the Atlantic, is a land shaped by the sea. With over 8,000 miles of rugged coastline, it's wrapped in lighthouses, fishing villages, and dramatic cliffs where waves crash with thunderous power. Cape Breton Island is its crown jewel, home to the Cabot Trail,